Well, there you go. That is game number one of the Stanley Cup Finals. And let me just say, that was a great game. It was pretty dominant on one side, but you know what? Generally, that was a pretty good game. I got to hand it to Tampa. They handled Montreal pretty well. But there is some things we need to get into regarding the teams who have won game one of the Stanley Cup Finals in the past. First off, I want to clear some things out of the way. Apologies for no series preview for this series. I really didn't have time. As I said, I was camping up in Homestead, which is like 2 hours away from where I am, only like an hour away from New York, maybe a little bit less. And, so I wasn't able to make videos up there. I did pre-record Hockey Card Collection and favorite Montreal Canadiens players, which kind of fit pretty well in the levels, to be honest, because those two series are just now crossing over, and I'm going to be, I don't know. I think I might be okay with, I think I might be fine for the rest of the week. I go to my dad's for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going back up there. I don't think I am. If anything, I'm going to miss Game 4 for the Game 4 review, which, let's face it, that could be a sweep. Who knows? I hope it's not a sweep, because that just shows that, yeah. But anyways, let's get into the game. So, Armia was out, and you could tell the center depth was affected by that. Jake Evans was in for the first time since the Mark Scheifele hit back in round 2. Goaltenders, obviously, are Vasilevsky and Carey Price. It's not like they would put in McElhinney and Jake Allen. Although that would be cool. That would be funny, though, if, both teams, what's his name? Robinson of the Montreal Canadiens went up and shook John Cooper's hand and was like, let's screw this all up and put in our backup goaltenders. I'm sure Montreal may have won then. But anyways, I digress. First period, it just looked like it was nervous for the Canadiens at the start. It just didn't look like they were themselves. And they kind of got into it later, but yeah, no. A Sorelli shot was stopped by Price. The first big Montreal Canadiens chance was stopped by Vasilevsky, and that was Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher had himself a good game with some other things going on. There was a lot of red in the stands, notably. I saw a lot of Montreal Canadiens jerseys in those stands. So that, you can say what you want about Tampa fans. I'm not going to get into that stuff here. But, I mean, yeah, I guess it's got to be a topic. Caulfield's chance was blockered off. There was a Hedman shot that was saved by Price, and then they start going. Eric Chernak scored his first goal of the playoffs from Palat and point to make it 1-0. It was caused by a Montreal Canadiens turnover. Now, although it was a 5-1 score, I gotta say this. I'd say about 3 of those Tampa Bay goals that were scored were bad deflections, and one of them was on the power play as well. So, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. After that, Anderson plus Maroon were having words. Like I said, Patrick Maroon, a very vocal player, and Josh Anderson was also very vocal and physical in this game as well. Generally was the Montreal Canadiens. There was a big scruffle after a Vasilevsky save, which caused a couple penalties. Gaudreau got one for cross-checking, and just a great Tampa kill on Montreal. And that's going to be something Montreal works on in the next game. You can't be having bad stuff like that. So, that's all I'm going to say. Sherratt got a penalty for roughing, and this was a big test for that Montreal penalty kill. It was a huge test. And the worst part is they had to go into the second period with 1:15 on 5-on-4. And it was the 31 straight penalty kills for Montreal at that point. So, yeah, they did that pretty well. So they killed off Tampa. You would think that would be a momentum shift. And, no. So there was a Sorelli shot that was padded by Price. And it was kind of just back and forth neutral zone hockey for a little bit there. The third period was that as well until Tampa Bay erupted. Price just robbed Stamkos. Robbed. Unbelievable. Price played great in this game. And although, I'm going to see some Montreal Canadiens fans, because there's always going to be some Montreal Canadiens fans out there, saying, who do we start for game 2? Should we start Jake Allen? Of course not. No. Price is starting game 2, no doubt in my mind. There was some strange things going on with the NHL app. I saw the goals, but they were saying, like, I wanted to get the assists, but some were saying, like, oh, Blake Coleman scored, but then some were saying, no, Yanni Gourde scored, so I just wanted the Yanni Gourde. Gourde from Coleman, his 6th of the playoffs. It's 2-0 Tampa. There was a Shea Weber breakaway, which was stopped by Vasilevsky. And also, got to give credit to Montreal Canadiens captain Shea Weber. He had himself a good game as well. Pretty impressive for him. And I think that, he was kind of the biggest player in this game. And apart from Price, he was probably the best. To be entirely honest from you, that's just me. I know I'm not a Canadiens fan. I'm not even a Lightning or Habs fan, but Flyers and Coyotes are my only teams, and Boston. There was a Johnson backhand that was stopped by Price. Another great save by him. There was an Anderson shot that was stopped, and then this came along. There was a big block by Alex Killorn on Jeff Petrie. I get Petrie and Perry mixed up because I have terrible handwriting. Hedman was stickless. He took Killorn's stick, which if I was in a real life game, I mean, like, look, I'm not those guys, okay? And me playing in a bantam level, almost midget level, high school level type hockey, if the defenseman tried taking my stick, I'd be like, bro, what am I supposed to do? But then again, he is a defenseman, so kind of a pointless play. But a good block by Killorn. We'll get into what happened with him later. There was a Gourde shot that was denied by Price. Again, a Weber drive that was stopped by Vasilevsky. There was a deflected Chernak shot that was denied. And then Palat made a big hit on Ben Sherratt. Got a hand out to them. That was a big momentum change, or so we thought. Until Sherratt scored his first career playoff goal from Kotkaniemi and Weber to make it 2-1. Split in half just like that. And there was a Gallagher breakaway that was broken up. And a Killorn shot was stopped by Price until the second period came to an end. Third period, Kucherov scores right away, and I thought it was Palat, or so some people were saying it was Palat, but I think it was Kucherov. From no one, it made it 3-1. So just like that, you thought Montreal had a chance, and then just like that, nah. So that's got to be tough. And I said another tough deflection. I think that was Sherratt that put it into his own net. There was a big scruffle, a lot of helmets and sticks on the ice. Stahl and Chernak went to the box for roughing. And then Kucherov gets another one from Braden Point, his 7th of the playoffs, and he's quietly putting up the points. I'm pretty sure he's at 30 points in the playoffs right now. And that's more than Nolan Patrick. But anyways, we'll get into that later. But, there's some people saying that, like, oh, it's Tampa, like, over the cap. No. And first off, if it was your team that was doing it, you wouldn't hear anything from your mouth. And that's not me being biased because I like Tampa more than Montreal, although I'm kind of rooting for Montreal. It's like the funny thing is, like, last year, if you asked me what my third favorite team was, I'd say Tampa, and that was kind of because of my bandwagon-y stuff. But now I just feel like I don't have a third favorite team. I guess it's either the Wild, the Devils, or the Bruins. But, yeah, and, like, I rooted for Dallas last year, and I'm rooting for Montreal this year, so, that's a different conversation. There was a big kerfluffle, and there was just damage to Gallagher's head. Gallagher had a lot of blood around his head, and that's a tough guy. I've talked about how tough Brendan Gallagher is in these has been in the past couple of playoffs. Took a broken jaw from Matt Niskanen last year against the Flyers. Took a lot of high stickings in the last game. In the last couple rounds, he had notable blood on his face in every single game. He plays hard. He plays good too. So gotta give it to Brendan Gallagher. Penalty on Coleman for roughing. This was a clutch kill by the Bolts. If Montreal got anything on that, this could turn around quickly. Although it was 4-1 at that point. And then Kotkaniemi got a penalty for cross-checking, and then I literally just said, yeah, this is over. That's literally just what I said. Then there was a Killorn. He wasn't on the bench. And notably with the block shot he took, I did say that could have caused something, so we could see something interesting with Killorn. Next game, we'll also see stuff with Joel Armia next game as well. These teams don't like each other. I wrote that down as well. It's pretty clear that these teams just don't like each other. Then Joel Edmondson got a penalty for roughing, and I was like, "Yep, this game's over." And 32 straight penalty kills for the Montreal Canadiens come to an end. Power play goal from Stamkos, from Kucherov. Kucherov's 30th point of the playoffs makes it 5-1, and first time in the playoffs that Carey Price has let in more than 4 goals. Tough. Final score 5-1 Tampa. Shots were 26-19 in favor of Tampa. Power play 0 for 2 for Montreal, 1 for 3 for Tampa. Hits were 58-57, so it was a pretty notably physical game. Over 110 hits overall. And look, I gotta say it. I know people are going to be like, "Oh, anything can happen." But in the last 3 years, since I started watching hockey consistently, the team that has won Game 1 has lost in the finals. So, in 2018, Vegas wins Game 1 4-1. In 2019, Boston wins Game 1, I think it was 4-1 actually, ironically. And in Game 1 of last year, Dallas wins Game 1 4-1. And this year, Tampa wins 5-1. So, you got to say that maybe, you got to consider it. Maybe. But hey, I appreciate you all coming out and watching this video till the end. Thank y'all for watching the Spur on the channel as of late. I've made about 33 different Montreal Canadiens and Tampa Bay Lightning videos, which is kind of amazing to think. So, yeah. Thank y'all for watching, for all your support, and we got some more videos coming out in the coming days. And I will see you guys in the next video.